LMD versus Debian. Is Mint's polished cinnamon experience worth the upstream switch? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most quietly debated questions in the Linux desktop world in 2026. Is Linux Mint Debian Edition, LMDE 7 Gigi, actually better than pure Debian 13 Trixie for everyday desktop use? Or is Mint's famous cinnamon polish just extra layers that serious users don't need? We're not here to hype one over the other. We're going to look at real differences in stability, usability, performance, hardware support, and long-term maintenance, so you can decide what fits your workflow. Whether you're a longtime Debian purist, a Mint fan tired of Ubuntu drama, or someone shopping for a daily driver, this comparison should clear things up.
Why LMDE even exists? The upstream insurance policy. Linux Mint's main editions have always been based on Ubuntu LTS. That gave them great hardware support and a huge software ecosystem, but it also tied them to Canonical's decisions, snaps, proprietary bits creeping in, and occasional breakage during big Ubuntu jumps. LMDE was born as Mint's Plan B. By building directly on Debian stable, the team created a version of Mint that stays independent. If Ubuntu ever went in a direction they didn't like, Mint could keep delivering the same polished desktop on a rock-solid Debian foundation.
Fast forward to 2026. Debian 13, Trixie, dropped in August 2025 with the Linux 6.12 LTS kernel, official non-free firmware support out of the box, and strong modern hardware compatibility. LMDE 7 Gigi launched shortly after, also on Debian 13. So today, both systems share the exact same upstream base. The real question isn't Debian versus Ubuntu. It's, do Mint's extra tools and tweaks justify the middle layer?
Installation: guided polish versus raw power. Installing pure Debian 13 has come a long way. The graphical installer is friendlier than it used to be, and official non-free firmware ISOs make Wi-Fi and graphics work for most people right away. But you still make a lot of choices yourself: partitioning, desktop selection, enabling contrib non-free repos, and setting up a display manager. LMDE 7 keeps the classic Mint installer, clean, guided, and beginner-friendly. It enables non-free, contrib, and backports repositories automatically. You get Cinnamon pre-configured with Mint's themes, XApps, and update manager already in place. Boot the live USB, click through a few screens, and you're on a fully polished desktop in under 15 minutes. No hunting for packages or tweaking sources.list by hand. If you value speed and control, Debian wins. If you want it just works out of the box, LMDE saves you time.
The cinnamon experience: Mint polish versus vanilla. This is where the biggest gap appears. Debian ships cinnamon, but it's the version frozen at release time, currently around 6.4.x, and stays that way for the entire Debian 13 lifecycle. Security fixes only, no feature updates. You get a clean, lightweight desktop, but it's raw. No Mint themes by default, no XApps suite, and you'll need to manually install and configure things like the Mint Update Manager if you want them. LMDE 7 ships the exact same cinnamon version that the current Ubuntu-based Mint uses, then keeps it updated through Mint's own repositories. You get ongoing improvements, bug fixes, and new features without waiting for Debian's next release. Plus, you inherit the full XApps collection: Ext, XViewer, XReader, XPlayer, and more, plus the beautifully integrated Update Manager and Software Manager.
The result? LMDE feels like the complete Cinnamon desktop you expect from Mint, while Debian plus Cinnamon feels like, well, Cinnamon on Debian. It works perfectly, but you're doing more setup yourself.
Performance and bloat. Does the extra layer matter? Here's the data point everyone wants: real-world overhead. Community benchmarks and user reports in 2026 show the difference is negligible on modern hardware. Idle RAM usage is within a couple hundred megabytes. Boot times are essentially identical. App launch speeds and general responsiveness feel the same because both run the same kernel and core packages. LMDE does add Mint's tools and a few background services, but they're lightweight and optimized. On low-end or older machines, pure Debian with a minimal setup might feel a hair snappier, but most people report no noticeable lag in daily use. Web browsing, office work, light photo editing, or even 1080p gaming. The set it and forget it philosophy holds. Mint's layer isn't bloat, it's curated convenience that doesn't meaningfully impact performance.
Stability, updates, and the maintenance tax. Both are extremely stable. Debian stable is legendary for a reason. The difference is in how updates feel. Pure Debian. You update via apt or your preferred front end. It's rock solid but manual. Major version upgrades, Debian 13 to 14, require careful planning and command line work. LMDE 7. The update manager is graphical, smart, and safe. It categorizes updates, shows change logs, and integrates with time shift snapshots so you can roll back easily if something goes wrong. Mint also provides an official Mint upgrade tool that makes major version jumps, like 6 to 7, smoother than Debian's process. Package availability is nearly identical because LMDE pulls from Debian repos plus a small Mint overlay for Cinnamon and XApps. Flatpak works great on both for newer apps. If you need bleeding-edge software, both benefit from Debian backports.
The driver and firmware reality check. Debian 13 made huge strides here. Non-free firmware is officially supported and easy to enable. Most hardware works out of the box. LMDE goes one step further by enabling those repos automatically and including better out-of-the-box firmware handling. NVIDIA users. This is one area where Ubuntu-based Mint still has an edge with its driver manager GUI. LMDE and pure Debian both require the command line, sudo apt install NVIDIA driver, or following the Debian wiki. It works reliably, but it's not one click. Legacy hardware owners will find both systems capable, but LMDE's curated setup often means fewer missing firmware surprises during install.
Who should choose what in 2026? Choose pure Debian 13 if you want the absolute minimal vanilla experience. You enjoy tweaking and full control. You're comfortable with the terminal and don't mind occasional manual setup. You prioritize the purest upstream source with zero extra layers. Choose LMDE 7 if you love the Cinnamon desktop and want Mint's ongoing updates and refinements. You value a polished, beginner-friendly workflow without sacrificing Debian stability. You want the set-it-and-forget-it desktop experience with safe graphical tools. You like the idea of supporting Mint's independence from Ubuntu.
Now, the bottom line. In 2026, with both distros sharing the same Debian 13 foundation, the choice isn't about raw stability or performance anymore. It's about philosophy and daily comfort. LMDE doesn't add meaningful bloat or latency. It adds thoughtful refinements that make Cinnamon feel complete and the system easier to live with day after day. For most desktop users who just want a reliable, beautiful, low-maintenance Linux experience, those refinements are absolutely worth the extra layer. Pure Debian is still the gold standard for minimalists and power users who prefer to build their own perfect setup. Whichever you pick, you're getting one of the most stable Linux foundations available today. The upstream switch isn't a downgrade. It's simply two excellent options from the same rock-solid tree, with Mint adding the polish that makes Cinnamon shine.
If you've tried both, drop your experience in the comments. I read every one. And if this video helped you decide, hit that like button and subscribe for more no-nonsense Linux comparisons. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay curious, stay stable, and happy computing.